Aloha, good morning, and welcome to the Hawaii Digital Government Summit. I'm Rebecca Friedman with eRepublic, which is the parent company for government technology, public CIO, governing, and emergency management magazines. If you're not familiar with our publications, we do have copies of them out on a table in the exhibitor area, so I encourage you to take a look at those. We're also the parent company for the Center for Digital Government and the Center for Digital Education. We're really excited to be hosting this event today. This event brings together a great mix of state and local government from all over Hawaii, so thank you all for being here. I wonder if we would find out who traveled the furthest and how many planes they maybe had to take to get here this morning, so we appreciate you all taking the time and effort to being here. The goal of this event is to bring you together to share information and generate ideas. Our theme this year is Transformation in Action, and you'll find out more about that as we go throughout the day. The goal of our organization is to bring together public sector and get you to be able to share ideas that you have with the community at large. That's another reason that I encourage you to take a look at our magazines. If you have ideas that you want us to share with the rest of the US and all of our readers, please let us know. We're always interested to hear what you're doing and share those great successes. Another reason and another way that you can get involved in sharing ideas is through social media, of course, right? There's no avoiding social media these days. And I encourage you to participate in our Twitter activity today. We are tweeting at the hashtag HIDGS14, Hawaii DGS 14. And I know I was already on the Twitter hashtag, and I look forward to seeing you all on there as well. But I'd like to start our day with a traditional Hawaiian blessing, and I'd like to welcome to the stage our kahu kalio. Thank you.
Aloha kakahiaka kako. Aloha, everybody. Could we stand and we'll do a prayer today? And it's such a wonderful morning. I drove in from Makaha this morning when it was dark, and there were so many red lights ahead of me coming in, such a slow process of coming in. But you know, if you're out in Makaha, some say that Makaha is the end of the road, but we really know that that's the beginning of where we all came from. Out there in the rural coastal area that we love so much, Makaha, out there you have Makua. But I happened to make it through all of the 26 traffic lights, green. They were all green coming in, but so that was a sign. But I'm happy to be here. I'm here with Dr. Guanson of the Pacific Justice and Reconciliation Center. This is just an awesome summit of the people from all islands, I think. And we have a tradition in Hawaii that we pause in the rush of life and we bring the sacred into the workplace to make things whole and complete and to ask for blessings for a new beginning, a good beginning. And I'm glad to do that, to come and to be with you and to pray for the very best intentions and hopes and dreams that all of you have for yourselves, your families, for our government here in Hawaii and the land and the people of this land. So if you would join with me, we'll pray and ask God, the God of all people and the God of all of creation, to be with us today and to give us every blessing, every mercy, and every grace. E puli ka ko, let us pray. E kea kua e kamakua lani, e kamakua mauloa ho nani ia ko inoa. God of all people and God of all of creation, you who wills the well-being of all of humanity and all of life, we are yours today. And we just thank you so much for blessing our families and keeping us well and safe and healthy. And we're just so thankful today. But we're also very grateful for the one family that we are here gathered at this place, the family of the Hawaii Digital Government Summit. We are Ohana today. And we thank you for bringing us to this day and place and time, and for those who have worked so hard to make this event possible, and we're so thankful. But now as we begin our program this day, we ask for all your blessings to be upon us. We ask that you keep us together in your love. Bless the purposes of this event. We only have the very best of intentions, and our purposes are true. And so come and breathe life now into this place and the breakout sessions, and be with the speakers as they give of themselves and share new and exciting ideas. Help us to be open, to be creative, to imagine the possibilities, to share freely the thoughts that we have with one another, and to build upon the relationships that we are forming, critical relationships for the work of these days and the work ahead. Is such a critical time for Hawaii and the world. But give us all that we need to accomplish the goals that we have set for ourselves and to be successful in everything. Guard, guide, and protect us now, and be with us in our summit, and help us to move forward the things that we have in our hearts today. And we just pray for this land and the people of this land, our history, our future, and please, we pray, help us to do the very best that we can in everything that we are about. Peace and hope and joy be ours now, we pray. Makainoa o kamakua a meke keiki a meka ohane molele. Amen, amen, amen. Hey, I brought a little bit of pa'akai, some salt, and this stage will be a very important stage for all of you and some important speakers this morning. So we're going to spread a little bit of pa'akai on this stage to help season the work that all of you are about. And to give you life and to help you as you move forward in the days to come. Aloha. Oh, before you sit down, turn to somebody and say, "You're looking good today."
Thank you, Kahu. This is such a great reminder of why we're here today, is the coming together and getting to know new people. And I will admit, you probably are our best looking audience all year. And I can say that fairly because this is actually the last event that we produce in our calendar year. So this is a big deal for our staff. It's one of our bigger events that we have nationwide, if you can believe that. So it's really great to see all your faces here and to see you all so excited to be here. I'm not sure how many of you know the great accomplishments that OIMT, the Office of Information Management and Technology, has had in the past year. They've been recognized nationally for some great successes. The eRepublic Center for Digital Government recently recognized them with a Best of the Web Award for the website's dramatic overhaul with simple, intuitive navigation. The Hawaii.gov site has scenic Hawaiian imagery, of course, layered over a cloud-based, mobile-first site built on open source technology. A powerful intuitive search function guides users to information they seek on a responsive site, which offers rotating stats on a homepage documenting actual transactions completed on the site. There's GIS function, and visitors who register with myhawaii.gov get a personalized dashboard based on their interactions with the state. There's a single sign-on system with citizens' letterboards and badges, and the real success of this website is, of course, how it's engaged citizens. There's been a 20% increase in online service adoption in just over a year with this site. So this is really an amazing increase. And I'd like to start the day by presenting the award for Best of the Web to your state CIO, Keoni Kali. And I'd like to welcome him to the stage to accept that award and to give some opening remarks.
So before we get started, I wanted to recognize two individuals that have really worked on that award. That award apparently has, 3.5 months ago, made its long journey to get here to the stage in Hawaii, and it has gone to various states, it has gone to various places, and it finally arrived here today. It's a perfect synergy of the universe, okay? So the two people I want to bring up to recognize for this are Karen Higa, who manages 100% of our websites for the state of Hawaii, and Russell Castagnero from HIC, who is the vendor responsible for maintaining our portal. So if you guys would come up, please, and I can hand you guys the award and be recognized. Thanks. So this is a very coveted award out there, and a lot of folks were shocked, including us, that we, in the state of Hawaii, won it. But it's due to the hard work and diligence over the last 3 years of, these two, their teams, and all of the state departments, that contribute to the content of that portal and, the other things that are behind there. So it also is important to recognize how we've used the latest technologies out there, open source, other types of things, to make this happen and be recognized. Our portal's been highly successful, and it continues to draw millions of unique views and to the state of Hawaii and attention, and we're running a lot of our business through it for all the departments. So Russell and Karen, thank you. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Well, aloha and welcome to the 2014 Hawaii Digital Government Summit. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge several special guests in our attendance this morning that have registered, and those are largely made up of our elected officials and the legislators that have decided to support us and come out and help us with the transformation. Their leadership has really guided our state to reach our ambitious goals in technology transformation, and they include Senator Glenn Wakai, who chairs the Economic Development and Technology Committee for the Senate, and Representative Mark Nakashima, who's also come out to support. This is the third consecutive Digital Government Summit that I've been involved with. It's the seventh overall because GovTech has done this for the City and County of Honolulu and other places over the course of the years. But this is my first as a state's Chief Information Officer, and it holds special significance for me personally and professionally in terms of where we are in our long-term and long-range plans for technology in the state. 2 months ago, we congratulated my predecessor, Sonny, who you all remember, our first ever state CIO, on his new position with the U.S. Department of Treasury as their CIO. Sonny was a catalyst for much of the progress we've made in such a short period of time. And he led our team in laying down the foundation of our information technology transformation. And today, because of that, we have a very sound roadmap outlined in our technology transformation plan. We have collaborated, we have built relationships, we have built trust with all of you out here and industry partners and other states over the course of that period of time, because he opened up those communication doorways. Now in the fourth year of our 12-year plan, we have successfully completed much of the groundwork necessary to move ahead with the implementation phase. We have some slides, that will be sort of some visual cues, because I know that typical to our culture and our folks out there, that even though it may seem quiet out there in the table space, there's a lot of your minds are going and you want to absorb all this information. But I don't hear much coming out of there. So, but I know that it's there because I deal with all of you and talk to you, and a lot of meetings during the week for getting things done. So with that, a lot of hard work, many long hours remain. Our team at OIMT, the Office of Information Management and Technology, and DAGS, Information Communication Services Division, which is ICSD, in partnership with the departments, have really committed to the transformative changes needed for a modern, secure, safe, and connected IT environment for the state of Hawaii. When I was appointed to the position of CIO earlier this year, I accepted because I saw it was an opportunity to not only continue our momentum, but to accelerate it, to streamline, to move forward quickly, in sprints, to be agile, and to really create the change that is necessary in our environment, in our culture, in our state, in the bureaucracy, in the processes that we follow, so we can get there sooner, quicker, and really realize the benefits and the hard work that has been already done, but to see the fruits of your labor, right in front of you. I'm pleased to report that this acceleration has contributed to our transformation in action. And a lot of times, having been involved in many transformation projects in IT and government, it's hard to measure for how much we have shifted the conversation or how much we've actually changed. And when you look at the results of last week or 2 weeks ago, you might not see much, because there's not that much happening because things are happening behind the scenes. But when you look at it over a 3-year period and you observe the trends and you see what the work products that have been performed by all the teams and the conversations that have gone on, just this year inventory of guidelines, policies, conversations, standards, those things that create structure to support the transformation, that's where you see the results. That's where you see the measurement in what we're doing. Since the last summit, Hawaii's advancement toward becoming a top-tier digital state has earned national recognition. We've got the 2014 Best of the Web State Portal from the Center of Digital Government and Government Technology, eRepublic, edging out other ranking states such as Utah, Arkansas, Texas, Maryland for the top honor. Now, they were as shocked as we were when we won because they thought they were going to win, and surprise, our website, it may seem small, but it's always interesting to me how much we do in Hawaii. There is so much going on. There are thousands of projects out there, IT related. All of you are working really hard, towards this end result, which seems simple enough, but really is quite complex and has a lot of input from a lot of different people. We also received a perfect score in the 2014 State Open Data Policies and Portals Report by the Center for Digital Data Innovation. And Hawaii was one of the only 6 states to receive a perfect score. These and other recognitions strengthen our commitment to take our initiatives to the next level. This year, we established the state's first Security Operations Center, the SOC, as we like to call it, to monitor and respond to cyber threats to departments and agencies, and we will be extending that framework to include neighbor island cities and counties. We also aligned the state cybersecurity approach with what is called the National or NIST Cybersecurity Framework. We can now offer infrastructure as a service to all state entities with a secure state government-wide private cloud, having reached initial operating functionality. That would be our government private cloud, or what we call GPC, which is our virtualized computing environment, centralized in the state, and duplicated into various co-location facilities on island and on the different islands. Hawaii recently became among the first states in the nation to implement a cloud-first policy for IT projects. This alone will address relevant statutory and policy requirements associated with state IT systems, including information security and privacy, along with federal compliance mandates. And those federal compliance mandates include the HIPAA, the CGIS requirements, and other types of things that we are subject to. This was no small project. This project included many consultants, many staff, all the departments, putting together a solution path using the latest and greatest technology that we could procure, we could get installed, configured, virtualized, ready to go and start to migrate system workloads. Cal Cloud was another example of a state that was doing this, and they were doing it at a very large scale, for California in our budget. Our budget was quite a bit smaller than theirs, but we are successful nonetheless, and it has been a great training opportunity. We're leveraging the best practices out there for virtualizing and saving costs on our licensing and our power and other types of things like that. And industry has really stepped up to assist us in this journey. The other thing about the cloud and the IT first policy with this governor is this is one of the governor's first achievements broadcast out there in terms of setting a cloud first policy to utilize the technology that we've built. I think that's a groundbreaking thing for any governor to do in any state, and Hawaii again is leading the pack in that type of innovation and approach. So we're moving forward even this month. In launching that virtualized environment, we have disaster recovery capability, something that has long eluded the state of Hawaii essentially since 2005. A report was done, and we have now checked that off the list, and has been long overdue. So this is a huge major step for us, and I'm glad to see that we're making progress on that front. Our team has also begun the entire state enterprise architecture project, allowing the state for the first time to model and analyze business processes, information exchange, IT solutions and systems, see what our spending patterns are, see what the standards for the technology we're using, how we drive these things forward. This program's along with web-based solutions internally on our intranet, on the extranet, allow us to make fact-based decisions, evidence-based decisions in planning, prioritizing IT business decisions and investments. We're moving forward, as you know, with the implementation of our Enterprise Resource Planning Project, or ERP. We've coined it as SURF here, the State Unified Resource Framework. And we have logos to boot and everything. But the SURF framework is comprised of many of the personnel in the different departments. We're dealing with accounting, financial, budget, HR, payroll, time and attendance, grants management, asset management, a lot of the features and functions that are not typically in the forefront of government business, but they're very crucial and important to how we do business and the cost of doing business going forward. We've completed several successful pilots, and we're now rapidly moving forward with the executive branch departments, moving from our previous Lotus Notes platforms to Microsoft Office 365. So this is the first time the state has well, not the first time, but it is one of the most significant times the state has made a move to do email in the cloud securely, reliably, to encrypt that traffic, be compliant with HIPAA and CGIS standards, and also leverage Microsoft Link video conferencing and voice over IP. So you can see a lot of new phones, voice over IP phones out there, a lot of cabling replacements in the DAG-zone buildings. These infrastructure changes are critical to the way we do business, and they're occurring now. So we plan to accomplish this as a sort of statewide in all of the executive branch at the very least over the next 2 years. Our progress as a state would not be possible without the support and work of all of you. And that is the absolute truth. The people are the ones, and the staff, the civil service, are who get the work done. You all are responsible for the deliverables and how we get work done, what we get done. And it was really, my hat is off to all of you who have participated in this transformation. Like many of you, I started off, in GIS as a GIS analyst, making maps, doing geographic information systems and analysis, 20 years ago. I look that old, but I guess, good genes. It's not the age, it's the mileage, guys. Came up through the ranks. I became a CIO when I was 29. It was the first when I started that, and I've been doing it this is my 14th year of being a senior executive and a CIO. So I've seen transformation in government using technology. I've seen cultural transformations. I've worked through many of the restructuring processes, that have gone on in government and utilities to make a difference in the community. And this is, just like all of the rest. And I'm hoping that we can leverage the lessons learned in different areas and bring that to bear for the change that we're making here. And that change really is a personal change. We all have to ourselves adopt change ourselves in order to participate in the overall cultural change. We can begin by transforming our landscape, and then that landscape thereby, in return transforms us and our culture. So, my hat is off to all of you who are experiencing this change in your life, in your profession, and many of you have so many years of service and your life's work, embedded in the state of Hawaii. And I thank you for that hard work and that dedication over the many years. I'd like to recognize the members of the CIO Council, who's responsible for our IT personnel engaging in discussions and planning over the last 3 years. We're beginning to see things happen, and guidelines, standards, policy review. These are important elements of our transformation and our structure on how we work together, how the state is going to move forward and adopt, the vision, and adopt innovation as a culture, customer service excellence as a core value. That requires these documents and these conversations to occur over time. I want to also thanks our private sector partners. We cannot do this without the private sector in Hawaii. This is an ecosystem in terms of IT and technology. The state takes a step in moving forward, industry has to follow along. And because industry has participated in strategic partnership with the state in all of these levels, we have seen increases in broadband capability and reductions in broadband, like for instance, pricing out there. We've seen more fiber to the home and wireless services out there in the last 3 years than we've had in 14 years. We will be landing, a Trans-Pacific cable in Hawaii, and it is the first cable to land in Hawaii since the year 2000. And I don't have to tell you that, there is an end of life to much of the architecture and technology that is out there. And the last cable landing in Hawaii in 2000 is, we're on a short time frame here before things become, the other systems that landed before then become end of life and out of service. So industry made that happen. They listened to our requirements and our needs, and they responded. They were right there, hand in hand, side by side with all of us. We leverage industry and our consultants and training opportunities. When we have them come, we do knowledge transfer with our staff that work with them side by side every day. And they are making a huge difference for us, raising the quality of services that are out there for us to consume. And I really appreciate industry for keeping up to pace and bringing Hawaii forward. We'd like to also thank the Omidyar Ohana Fund, which is sort of the genesis of the OMT office 3 years ago, and the Hawaii Community Foundation for their support. Their support has not only been financial, but has really generated support in the community through their outreach programs and making a difference in transparency and accountability. And again, we would not be here if it were not for those folks who've contributed to our being. We're in a period of transition on more than one level, and it's really very encouraging at this point, going into the elections, that Governor Ige recognizes the value of modernizing state government. When he was in the Senate, he modernized a lot of their systems in the Senate from paper to digital, and he is carrying that promise forward in government, in even the first weeks of office, and is very promising and very encouraging to see his willingness to adopt best technologies, best practices for Hawaii. Today's summit is a unique opportunity for government employees to see the latest in digital government solutions, keep current with policy issues and our progress, from cybersecurity to the Hawaii government private cloud, and network with those around you involved in making IT decisions or IT implementation. In organizing today's event, the summit's advisory board has brought together public and private sector leaders to create an agenda designed to make the use of technology in government relevant and actionable. We listened last year and tried to provide value to summit attendees. I think we've succeeded. Information sessions today will align with our guiding strategies to inform IT and deliver increased IT value to all branches of government. These will touch on business transformation, re-engineering the business processes, technology transformation, modernizing the IT infrastructure, and transparency and accountability, which are becoming more and more important and relevant in how we do business. And I don't think that ever before that an IT organization in state government has offered as much transparency and accountability as we have delivered in the last 3 years, to both to the legislature and to the public. We have been living our life, as a technology innovator and organization, very publicly. We have, shared our experiences, and we have listened to what's been out there, and we have shown results. As we head into 2015, you can expect a renewed focus in these areas, particularly in the areas of procurement and standards and policy. I want to leave you with the lasting thought here that centralizing the IT procurement is critical to moving this entire enterprise forward. For those of you that that know, we spend on average in the executive branch about $150 million a year. And that doesn't include University of Hawaii and Department of Education, but $150 million a year is no small amount of money. The OIMT budget averages about $15 million. So if you look at it in perspective to the overall state budget, OIMT controls 1/10 of 1% of the overall state budget. 1/10 of 1%. Average spending in other states is 1 to 3% of billion-dollar budgets. So we do a lot more with a lot less. And because of your partnership and your creativity and your ability to work within those constraints and the procurement, rules that we have in the state of Hawaii, that is the only way we are able to, continue to move forward in an expeditious way and in a very effective way. One other thing I want to mention is a core value system. The CEO of IBM, former CEO of IBM, once told me when I was working in California, he had said that he had 350,000 employees, and if anybody thought that he could tell somebody to do something and that they would do it, it was impossible. That just didn't happen. So he's like, I don't have any power. I'm the CEO of IBM. I have 350,000 employees, all over the world, but I can't really do much. But what could he do? And he shared this with me. He could set a core value system inside the organization that was so strong and that everyone could buy into it and adhere to it. And that core value system drives the internal personal decisions that every one of you makes, and myself included. And everyone in the state of Hawaii and all the culture in the cities and counties, really everyone strives to do the right thing. And it's important that what the right thing to do is aligned with, our core value system. And setting a core value system of innovation, of cooperation, collaboration, IT value in every conversation, customer service excellence is another part of it. Setting a core value system related to those things really creates a sustainable IT organization and an IT conversation in industry and in the state of Hawaii. And it's my hope that with that core value, those core values, the state can move forward and transform the quality of life for all of the employees as well as the residents and the citizens of our great state. So with that, I thank you for your continued partnership. Please have a great and productive summit. Thanks for coming today. Thank you.
Thank you, Keoni. There's been so much great progress in this state in IT in the past year, and I know that momentum is going to keep up. So congratulations to you all. I know you all had a hand in that success.